The largest youth soccer club in Hays County, accused of covering up $70,000 someone took from the club. Records we've obtained show it came at the hands of a former San Marcos area youth soccer organization president.
As KXAN investigator Jody Barr reports, this was never reported to law enforcement, and some parents want that to change tonight.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. The only youth soccer club in San Marcos was bleeding money. For 2 years, parents, sponsors, and the city paid to help turn this club into the largest in Hays County. No one knew it then, but someone on the inside was taking money from these kids.
It's appalling because we went years at this soccer club without enough coaches, enough equipment, limited times of use. And it was always, we don't have the funds, or we don't charge enough to make all those things happen.
This man was part of the club known as SMAYSO. He asked that we hide his identity out of fear his kids could pay a price for him exposing this. He tipped us to the missing money in April. We filed a records request with the city of San Marcos to find out what the city knew and if tax dollars were involved. We got this, a repayment contract between SMAYSO and its former board president and coach, Erik Svendsen. The contract shows Svendsen intentionally and knowingly took $71,000 from the club for his own personal gain and use. $13,000 in a wire transfer for a payment on a loan in Svendsen's name, and another $30,000 in ATM withdrawals. The contract also shows Svendsen, a pilot, charged $5,000 at the San Marcos aviation business and on other flight-related products. Thousands of dollars at gas stations, restaurants, sports bars, cable TV, and the contract shows Svendsen even spent $1,500 of the soccer club's money at this vet's office in Kyle. It's spending it doesn't appear anyone outside the SMAYSO board knew anything about.
That did not get brought to my attention until you did your investigation. I didn't have all the facts, but I knew something bad was going on.
We tried to interview Svendsen to get his side. Every number we had for him was disconnected. We ended up finding him at his home last week.
Hey, excuse me, are you Erik? Erik, hey, I'm Jody with KXAN. Can you hear me?
Svendsen never acknowledged us and ignored our questions about the $70,000.
We'd like to include your side in this. Is there anything you could tell us? Can you at least take my number down if you change your mind later?
SMAYSO's Vice President Jim Neff signed the repayment contract. Neff's full-time job is an IRS criminal investigator in Austin. He declined multiple requests for an on-camera interview, even leaving these tryouts when we showed up. Neff told us by phone the club thought the contract was the only way to get its money back, something it couldn't do if Erik Svendsen went to jail.
They caught one of their buddies stealing a bunch of money, and they took care of him because all his buddies were on the board, and they're the only ones that knew about it. They're supposed to do what's right for the club and for the kids, and they covered up a crime.
Now, these city emails show San Marcos officials knew about this back in February. The club is funded by player fees and sponsors and not directly by tax dollars. A San Marcos city spokesman told me since there is no direct tax dollar cash contribution to the club, the city won't talk about this. However, the city provides this club the exclusive use of its taxpayer-owned $4.5 million soccer complex. Now that's paid for with your tax dollars. Now we were also able to confirm this case was never reported to law enforcement, meaning this former soccer club coach likely won't face charges.
Jody, is this man still coaching in San Marcos?
Well, Robert, no, not right now, and that's because he's suspended. But he has up to 3 years to repay the $70,000 to the soccer club. He's repaid about $20,000 so far. After he finishes paying this money back, the contract says he will be eligible to participate in youth soccer clubs again.
Jody, thank you.